My name is Daniel Glover, and I'm the candidate for the North Carolina State Senate Seat 12, which represents Harnett, Lee County, and a portion of Johnson County. I want to come and talk with you today to give you a little information about myself and the reason why I'm running for this seat. A lot of people may be asking, why in the world would you want to take on this daunting task? Then again, I ask myself the same thing every day. But the truth is, I feel an obligation as a citizen of the United States and as a citizen of North Carolina and a native of North Carolina to stand up for small businesses and to stand up for the common man and the common woman that you meet on the streets on a daily basis. At this point in time in the United States, just be plain and simple and just as country as I can get it down to be, we're in a mess. And the political parts of it, counterparts of it, I don't see any fixing getting done. Here in Raleigh, we have made some progress by taking over the House and the Senate. The main thing is, though, the election time is coming up again. And during this time, we have Occupy Wall Street, and we have all these different groups. And the one main concern that really scares me is my own generation. My age generation. For some reason, they're not able to take the concept of moral values and values that people were raised on. Everything goes, everything's good to go. Well, I hate to say it, a lot of us don't agree with that. I'm not ashamed of my Christian faith, and I stand up for my Christian faith. And if that's politically incorrect, so be it. If I'm criticized for that, so be it. Jesus Christ was even criticized. And all his saints were criticized. But that's okay. I stand up for the common person. The person that works in the store. The person that works in the mills. The person that works in any type of general job. The nurses, the teachers, whoever it may be. That's the people I stand up for. We are in a pivotal point right now where North Carolina small businesses are hurting. And when I say hurting, they're hurting bad. A report came out today in the News and Observer that said that we had dipped down to 8.9% unemployment rate. And that's great. The problem is, though, is that a true statistic number, or is that only because of Christmas approaching and retailers hiring more people in order to fulfill the shopping needs of consumers? Is it going to flatten out after that and go back up? Or is it going to keep going down? I think you can probably figure that out on your own. It's going to go back up. As far as the infrastructure that Obama's planning, that's only a temporary solution to jobs here in North Carolina. You can bring in and do all the construction you want to, but after those jobs are done, and those contractors and all those subcontractors and the workers are complete with those tasks, the jobs dry up. And once the jobs dry up, the number of unemployment skyrockets again. The problem is the tax rates here in North Carolina. We have to create a business-friendly environment for businesses. Me personally, being a small business owner, I own a wildlife and pest control company. So you can imagine that I deal with the ups and downs of the economy. Because when consumers are not using services, we're not making any money. And it's not about just making profit. It's about supporting your family and working hard. And it's about providing money in the company enough to support your employees. But with all the taxes and also the unemployment rates going up, it's going to hurt and hinder the businesses from growth, and it pretty much sours out the deal of having new employees hired on. The first major thing that a business owner will do to reduce costs is reduce employees. They might reduce stock, they might reduce inventory, but the main thing, if you ask most business owners where most of their money is going out at, it's taxes and employees. So if you can reduce that, that's what they're going to do. Here in North Carolina, we're a strong state, and we have been. And the reason that we're a strong state is because we have stuck to our moral values. We've stuck to our Christian values. We've stuck to our working hard values. We've stuck to standing up for what we believe in. And in the past few years, the moral values of North Carolina are slowly being lost. And the problem is my own generation is part of the problem. That's why I feel with my age, my business experience, and just being a common person that you see on the streets every day, that I can be a voice for the people of Johnson, Lee, and Harnett County. I have no political experience, and that's a good thing in my favor. And the reason is, I don't know the inside tricks of politics. I'm not up there to do the inside tricks. I'm not looking for kickbacks. I'm up there to represent you. That's it. You tell me what the problems are. That's what I want to address. A lot of people will say, well, you have no political experience, your age, la 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 la. The problem is, age, experience doesn't matter. It's common sense. It's not rocket science. If you create a business-friendly environment, that brings more businesses. If you create an unfriendly business environment, it pushes away businesses and it closes up businesses. So what we have to do is create business-friendly environment here in the state of North Carolina in order to maintain what we have and to grow upon that. That's what we stand for. Johnson, Lee, and Harnett County are rural community areas. So we can't compete with Raleigh-Durham. We can't compete with Charlotte. But we have to maintain what we have. And we have to maintain it in a sensible way. And we have to maintain it where we have growth, but not rapid growth, so our infrastructure will not be able to handle it. We have to do it in a way that's going to bring more revenue into the counties for the schools. We have to bring more revenue into the counties for police protection. I talked to a sheriff just the other day, and I'm not going to mention what county, and he is barely getting by with the amount of employees he has to even have a police presence within the county. And it's unacceptable. When these things happen, this is when the moral values and our whole state of North Carolina start to fall. And I understand that we have budget issues, and they have to be addressed. And we're moving in the right direction because we were able to take over the majority in Senate and the majority in the House. But there's still a lot of work to be done. Like I said, I'm not a politician. I'm a common sense approach person. I'm blunt. I'm not politically correct, and that's okay. I stand up for Christian faith. I stand up for hard-working values. I'm not a multi-millionaire. I don't have money coming out of my pockets. But I'm a hard-working businessman trying to support my family like many of us. And that's why I feel like I could be a great voice in the North Carolina State Senate for you. It's simple. We can send politicians up there that have been experienced in it, and they know the ins and outs of it. And that's great. But are they truly connecting with the people of their Senate seat, their constituents? Are they connecting with them? I want to be able to connect with the constituents. I want to be able to connect with the people. I want to have an open door policy where I can talk to the people to see what's going on, what's affecting their community, so I can bring that voice to Raleigh. I was trained as a minister. I have a degree in pastoral ministries. So I have a voice, and I know how to use it. But what I ask for you, are you willing to make the decision when the primaries come up to allow me to use my voice? It's simple. As of right now, we've got two other opponents. I have two other opponents. We've got Tim McNeill, which is the chairman of the Harnett County Commissioners. And I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm just going to be blunt, and I put it out the way it is. The Harnett County Commissioners right now at this time is the biggest embarrassment I've seen in a long time. And it's not all on the chairman, but a lot has to do with it. We're reading headlines in the newspaper of the chairman, Tim McNeill, suing fellow Republicans on the Harnett County Commissioners. My other opponent, Don Davis, is a well-respected man. I have much respect for him, very much respect for him. The problem that concerns me with him is his age. He represented us in the House, but his age is getting up there. And with that age, if he got elected and it was going well, what happens to the next re-election in 2 years from now? Is he going to be able to carry that on? Also, another thing that concerns me, is he going to be able to connect with the businessman now? The business generation that we're dealing with. Because we're not just dealing with competition across the street. We're dealing with competition globally. All you have to do is go on the internet and you're dealing with competition all over the internet for your business. And so you've got to understand that concept. And so we have to do stuff in order to make us here in North Carolina competitive with the rest of the world. It's not just the state, it's not just the town, it's the world. Also, another thing I stand on is education. Education was a cornerstone of North Carolina. We can't cut all the funding from the education system. We have to create programs that work. If a program doesn't work, the solution is not just to throw money at it and keep throwing money at it and hope that it'll work itself out. The solution is to find the problem, create a new plan of actions, execute them, and work with it. That's the solution. It's not by throwing money at it. And in recent years, the solution's been throw more money at the program, throw more money at this, and it'll work itself out. It's not working, and we've all seen this. That's even on the U.S. level, and the federal government level, that if you throw more money at it, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work. So what I'm asking you today is when you go for the primary elections, Republican primary elections, it's your choice. You can stick with the old politicians that know it up and down, that have already been given that chance, and that some of them have done a good job, and some of them haven't done so good. And that's not coming from me. Read your local newspaper, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Or you can vote on me, the common person that can deal with your common issues. We need more common people in office. We need more people that are down to earth and understand what people are going through. Because that's the only way that this state will change. And it's the only way we'll be able to keep our moral values. Moral values are important to people. In my own generation right now, once as Jesse Ham said, you've got to stop the train of liberals that are trying to destroy the very essence of our country. And right now they're trying to destroy the very essence of North Carolina. I want to be that voice. I want to be that young conservative leader that stands up for what's right and stands up for the moral values that you and I were raised on. So when the primary comes, I ask you, when you go in there and you've got that ballot in front of you and you see the names, I want you to make a decision that you truly think is going to impact the outcome where you live in the community. I don't want you to make a decision just by name recognition. I don't want you to make a decision by, okay, well, they're a politician, so they should already be a politician. I want you to make a decision as to, is this person going to be able to connect with us? And is this person going to be able to be effective in the office and be a positive voice for us? So I ask you, when you get to the primary elections, vote Daniel Glover for North Carolina State Senate. All I'm asking for is give me a trial. We serve 2 years. After that 2 years, if you're not happy with me, send me home. But I ask you for the chance to be your representative in the North Carolina State Senate. I ask you to give me a chance to be the voice, the clear voice of the people of Johnson, Harnett, and Lee County.